Hello, thank you for joining us today. My name's Ben Wilting and I'm with the Amarillo Public Library. This is part 12 of our 13-part series designed to help you obtain citizenship in the United States. Today, we will be covering what you can expect while you wait for your citizenship interview, as well as what to expect during your citizenship interview. Stay tuned. So far, we have covered everything you need to know for your citizenship test. There are many other things that you need to be prepared for before your citizenship interview. Today, we will cover the paperwork that you need to look out for while you wait for your appointment, what to expect during your citizenship interview, and how to prepare for that interview. We will also go over what happens after your interview. Let's get started. So let's go over what you can expect while you wait to go to your citizenship interview. Your citizenship interview process will begin when you fill out an N400 and submit it to USCIS. Once you submit your N400, they will correspond with you via mail. This is physical mail. They will never send you an email or a telephone call. They will always send you a letter. It's very important that if you move or if your address changes that you go online to the USCIS.gov website and fill out the application to change your address and let them know where you've moved to. So once you fill out your N400, shortly thereafter, within the span of 2 to 4 weeks, you will receive 3 letters. The first will be a confirmation of payment. This will tell you that whatever method you used to pay for your N400 was valid. If there's any problems with the payment, that will come instead. The second letter of these 3 will be your USCIS online account number. This will allow you to set up an account on the USCIS.gov website, and this will allow you to track the progress of your N400. I highly recommend that you sign up for that and fill it out when you receive the letter. The process could take anywhere between 9 to 15 months currently, so it's important that you're able to go online and check the progress, make sure everything's happening as it should. The third letter you'll receive is an appointment for your biometrics. This will be an appointment somewhere nearby you in your city. If you live in the Amarillo area, you'll likely go down to Lubbock to take your biometrics. They'll send you a time and a date and a location. If for whatever reason you can't meet this appointment, make sure to call them and reschedule. It's very important that you go to your biometrics appointment. So after you receive these 3 letters, you shouldn't receive anything else until you are summoned for your citizenship interview. Again, you'll receive a letter with a time and a date and a location. If you're in the Amarillo area, that location will likely be Oklahoma City, and you will be given instructions about what you need to take to your interview, license, passports, resident card, tax information. Make sure you read the letter very carefully and make sure that you are prepared with all the information that they request when you go to your interview. Now, if for whatever reason the application, the N400 that you submitted, had anything wrong with it, there was some sort of error that you made, or they want some more information from you, they will send everything that you have sent them back. They'll have a letter attached on top of all your information, your form, explaining why they sent it back. These will be the instructions for what you need to fix on the form. Once you fix whatever they had issue with, you can send that back into USCIS. If they have another issue, they will send it back again. Hopefully, you can get it fixed the first time you send it in, so you're not having to send it back and forth. It's very important that while you wait, you're checking your mail, and if you receive anything from USCIS, that you open it quickly and address it and make sure you understand what you need to do or when the deadline for an appointment is, and that you take care of that in a timely manner. What you don't want to do is take a letter from USCIS and set it on the kitchen table and forget about it for 2 months, and then open it up and turns out you missed an appointment. That can be very frustrating when that happens. So just make sure you're looking for the letters from USCIS. Again, if you move, make sure you let them know. If you've got some sort of shared mailbox of some sort, make sure you let everyone who might have access to that mailbox know that USCIS letters are extremely important and need to come to you as quickly as possible. So once you have your letter and your appointment date, let's talk about what you can expect when you go to your interview. The first thing I would suggest is, if you're going out of town or if you're unfamiliar with the area, make sure that you look it up online before you go. It is extremely helpful for you to look up directions on how to get there. Make sure you take a look at what the building looks like that you're supposed to be going to. You can put in the address into Google and check on Google Maps, and you can easily see a picture of where you should be heading. And make sure that prior to your interview, prior to your appointment, that you maybe drive by the location an hour in advance and then go get a cup of coffee or breakfast, whatever you need to do. But what you don't want to happen is the day of your interview, 15 minutes before you're supposed to be there, you're lost in a city you've never been in before, and you're panicking. That's never a fun situation, and when you try to do your interview, you're already going to be worked up and stressed because you were lost and had issues beforehand. So just to eliminate that, try to take some easy steps, like looking it up online, looking up directions, driving past the building beforehand. That can alleviate a lot of the stress that you might experience before you go into your interview. When you do go into your interview, it's very important that you read your instructions on the letter. You'll be instructed to bring that letter, and you're also going to be expected to bring all your paperwork. I suggest you put that in an envelope or in a folder so it's all together. You don't have to risk leaving one of the papers in the car. It's all going to be together in one place, and when you walk in, you can open it up or hand it all to them, whatever they want you to do, but you'll have it all together. Make sure that you're dressed appropriately. Appropriate dress would be business casual. You're going to want to wear slacks, a button-down shirt, collared shirt if you're a man. If you're a woman, a business professional skirt or dress with a blouse or a pair of slacks is appropriate. You don't want to show up in shorts and flip-flops. You want to show up looking like you're supposed to. So once you get to your location on time, you'll be instructed to either wait in your car or to wait in a lobby of some sort. When they're ready for you, they'll call on you in some way. You'll be asked to go into the immigration officer's office or interviewing area, and they will likely talk to you and make some small talk. What is small talk? Small talk is just conversation that people make to fill in gaps in conversation, so there's not quiet. So they may ask you where you're from, the weather, how your drive was, what your plans are for the evening. This isn't an interrogation, this is just them making conversation. Part of this conversation, though, is going to be them trying to determine how comfortable you are with English. They want to know if you can speak English. So if they ask you, how's the weather? And you say, thank you, that's not an appropriate answer. They'll get tipped off pretty quickly that maybe your English isn't the strongest. Part of the interview process is to test your English and to make sure that you can speak English and then write and read the English portions of the test. Okay, so this is a list of some small talk questions that are very common in English. I'm going to go over those really quickly. Hello, how are you today? My name is Ben. What is your name? This weather is crazy. It was cold yesterday and today. I came in with an open jacket. I hope it stays warm, don't you? How was your day? How has your day been so far? How have you been feeling today? What have you been doing today? Anything exciting happen? What are you planning after this? Are you doing anything fun? The day is almost over. Do you have any plans for the evening? Where are you from? Where do you live? How long was your drive? Are you staying the night? These are just some small, simple questions that come up in everyday conversation. There is also a list of commands that you want to familiarize yourself with. These will be things that the immigration officer instructs you to do. If for whatever reason you don't comply, it may tip them off that your English is not good or you don't understand them. So let's go over some of those commands. Please be seated. Please hand me your passport. Read this sentence. Please follow me. Print your first name. Write this sentence here. Raise your right hand. Please remain standing. Sign your name here. Wait here. Those are all commands that you may see during your interview. To practice with these, you can get a friend or a family member to read these to you. The small talk, you can just practice conversing back and forth. And with the commands, just make sure that you understand what each one of those means fully. Remember, when you get into your interview, you're going to be likely be pretty nervous. It's very easy for people to behave differently than they normally would when they're nervous. Maybe they don't listen as well as they normally would, or they panic when someone says something and they do something silly out of the ordinary. So if you prepare yourself by hearing these questions and preparing yourself to follow these directions, you'll probably be more comfortable when you hear them in the interview. Okay. So we have a video, and this is just a mock-up with one of our former students. This is a mock interview. So this is just a practice of what you may experience when you take your interview. In this first segment, I will be the interviewer, and I will be calling on Sylvia. Pay close attention to the small talk I make with her and to the directions that I give her. Hi, are you Sylvia?
Yes, I'm Sylvia.
My name's Ben Wilting. I'll be your interviewer today.
Nice to meet you, my friend.
Do you have your passport?
Yes, I do. There's my passport.
Thank you. And your resident card?
There is my resident card.
Thank you. This is perfect.
Thank you.
Here you I understand you're from Amarillo?
Yes, sir.
Excellent. How's the weather up there?
It's interesting. We had snow last week on October.
I heard. How was
Yes.
that?
It was terrible.
Well,
It's getting better this week.
I understand. I'm not a big
Yes,
fan of snow myself.
No, me either.
How was the drive?
It was really nice.
Is all
we
the
had a good
snow
ride.
melted?
Yes. The roads were clear, and yes, it was a nice drive.
Well, fantastic. Okay, if you'll follow me to my desk, we'll get started.
Of course.
Okay, Sylvia, please be seated.
Thank you.
Could you please raise your right hand
Yes, sir.
and repeat after me? I promise to tell the truth.
I promise
To tell the
to
truth.
tell the truth.
Very good. You can put your hand down. Okay. I would like you, if you could, to sign your name on this sheet of paper, please. This is just confirming that you promise to tell the truth. Very
There
good.
he goes.
Notice how Sylvia was able to converse when I had small talk questions. She made sure to answer in full sentences. She didn't just give one-word answers. For this next section, we'll begin the test portion of the interview. This will be the reading and writing portion of the test. Very
There
good.
he goes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so I'm sure you know the rules because you've been studying, but just in case, I'm going to go over them for you.
Okay.
Today, we're going to have an English test, and we're also going to have a civics test. I'm going to give you some sentences that I read to you, and I want you to write them down. I'm going to give you some sentences that are written down that you will have to read, and then I'm going to ask you some questions to
Okay.
which you will have to know the answer. Does all this sound correct?
Yes, sir.
No surprises?
No.
Okay, so let's get started. So this is a list of sentences that I want you to read. I'm going to say one of the sentences, and I want you to read it out loud, please.
Okay.
Could you read the second sentence on that list?
What is the capital of the United States?
Very good, very good. Perfect. Okay, now we are going to do the writing portion of the test. I'm going to
Okay.
read a sentence to you. I just want you to write it down.
Okay, so
The sentence is, Washington, D.C. is the capital of the United States.
there we go.
Very good. That's perfect. This next part is similar to what you can expect with the civics portion of your citizenship test. Okay, so let's go ahead and ask our civics questions next. Now, I have 10 questions here that I can ask. Once you answer 6 of those correct, we'll stop. But
Okay.
if you miss any, you've got some extra chances.
Okay.
Who is the commander and chief of the military?
The president.
Very good. What is the rule of law?
Everybody follows the law.
Very good. Who was the first president?
George Washington.
Very good. George Washington. When do we celebrate Independence Day?
July 4th.
Very good. Under the Constitution, some powers belong to the states. What is one power of the states?
Providing driver license.
Very good. What is the capital
of the United States?
Washington, D.C.
Very good. Okay, that is 6 correct answers. So you've passed your civics portion. Very good.
Thank you.
So after you've done your reading and writing and the civics portion of your citizenship test, part of what you're going to have to do in your interview is go over your N400. The immigration officer will review your entire form with you. They will likely ask you all of the questions that you filled out again. If they have any concerns, they'll bring those up. If they have any questions about why you answered a certain way, they will ask you. So if there's anything on your form that's out of the ordinary or that you think might come up, be prepared to talk about that and know that it's the immigration officer's job to ask about that. The next part are the 50 yes or no questions. It is very important that while they read these, you listen to them carefully. We've had students in the past tell us that when they're listing these questions, they sort of just get into the routine of saying no, 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 no. You want to make sure that you're answering these correctly. You want to make sure that you're listening to all these questions fully. If you need a question repeated, it is okay to ask. Also, be prepared to answer questions that the interviewer may have about certain words on the application. They may want to make sure that you understood fully what you answered. So they may ask you about certain vocabulary words on the N400.
Now we're going to go over your N400. I have here the form that you submitted. I just wanted to go over some of this together.
Okay.
It says here that you have been living in the United States legally for 5 years and you're over 18 years of age. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And your name is Sylvia?
Yes, sir.
Very good. Have you ever claimed to be a U.S. citizen in writing or any other way? Yes or no?
No, sir.
No. Have you ever voted in a federal, state, or local election in the United States?
No, sir.
Have you ever advocated, either directly or indirectly, the overthrow of any government by force or violence?
No, sir.
Were you ever involved in any way with any of the following? Genocide,
No.
torture,
No, sir.
killing or trying to kill someone.
No, sir.
What does genocide mean?
That means killing everybody in a certain race.
Very good. Have you ever been a habitual drunkard?
No, sir.
What does that mean?
That means that you drink all the time, like every day.
Drink alcohol?
Alcohol?
Yes.
Yes.
Very good. Do you support the Constitution and form of government of the United States?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand the full oath of allegiance to the United States?
Yes.
Are you willing to take the full oath of allegiance to the United States?
Yes.
If the law requires it, are you willing to bear arms on behalf of the United States?
Yes.
And what does that mean, bear arms for the United States?
To fight in the military for the United States.
Very good. If the law requires it, are you willing to perform non-combatant services in the U.S. Armed Forces?
Yes, sir.
If the law requires it, are you willing to perform work of national importance under civilian direction?
Yes, sir.
Congratulations, Sylvia. You have passed your citizenship interview. You are now a citizen.
Thank you.
Here you go. That is a packet for you. Now, we don't have any swearing in today. However, you will get a letter in the mail for your swearing in ceremony. At that ceremony, they will give you your citizenship certificate, and at that time, you will officially be a citizen of the United States.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
So once you finish your citizenship exam, Your interviewer will let you know on the spot whether or not you have passed your test or failed your test. If you've passed your test, congratulations. Your interviewer will let you know whether or not they can swear you in that day on site, or if you'll have to come back to the site to get sworn in, or if you can have a swearing in your city of residence. If you are sworn in at a later date, you can expect another letter from USCIS with a date and a time for you to go to your swearing in. At the swearing in, you'll be sworn in with several other people who have passed their citizenship exams, and you'll be given your citizenship certificate, your certificate of naturalization. Once you are sworn in and you receive your certificate, you will officially be a United States citizen. If for whatever reason you do not pass your interview, there was something wrong with your N400 answers, or perhaps you failed your reading or writing or your civics questions, your interviewer will explain what to do next. You are given 2 chances to pass your citizenship test, so if you don't pass the first time, you'll receive another notice for an appointment within 60 to 90 days after your first appointment, and you'll have another chance to pass that test. Your interviewer will explain exactly what you got wrong, so you'll be able to study for the second interview. Thank you for joining us for class number 12. Join us next time in class 13, where we will cover everything you need to know about the N400. See you next time.